Hi there everybody, it's Rarity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today. It's the first today, so this video is for our Stamp Around UK video hop. Do check in the description. All the links to all the other videos in the hop are going to be listed in there, so do click on that arrow and have a look there and hop through, and please like and subscribe to the other participants if you haven't done so already. Our theme this time around is anything but flowers, so flowers are super popular, really good for any occasion, so the theme sort of gets us to explore our other sets in our stash. So today I'm bringing out Hello Ladybug and the coordinating Ladybug Builder die, not a die, it's a punch, sorry. So this is a set that's actually carried on into the annual catalogue from from last year. So this is what we're doing. Something a little bit out of the ordinary for me, really. It's not typically the kind of thing I go for, but there we go, stretching the comfort zone a little bit. And I've even started with a different size card for you, so rather than using a regular card, we've gone for like a slimline card which would fit inside the slimline envelopes that are also available in the online shop, so do check those out too. So we're going to make a variation on the theme. Okay, so punch the ladybugs, the middle leaf is popped up, and then we've got some of our new layering dies on there as well, so I'll show you all the bits and pieces as we go through. But yeah, so I hope you're going to enjoy this. Say something a little different from me today. So like I say, this is what we're using, Hello Ladybug coordinating punch. Now what I'm going to do is do the Ladybirds first, so that they've got time to dry and adhere and all that kind of stuff. So I've just pulled out some scrap basic white out from the stash there, and rather than punch straight from black cardstock, which you can of course, I actually quite like the fact that you've got the white outline, and because I was going to punch out the wings that will have the white outline, I thought it would look better and more coordinated if I did the same with the bodice. But if you wanted to skip this and just and then just punch that out with from black cardstock. Let me just get that black ink off my finger that's just as I've pulled that open. So if you wanted to do this and punch directly from black cardstock and save yourself some time, you could. It's no bother at all. Now I'm stamping this upside down because that's how it how the punch is laid out. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. And you'll see in a moment. So I want 3 of these guys, or gals I guess. Okay, so really nice in, that's just black memento ink. Do clean my stamps as I go along, so just forgive me there, I'm just doing that. We're going to need the memento again in a minute when we do our little ladybug wings. So again, because the punch is laid out so that we punch them this way, that's how I'm going to stamp them. Okay, and I'm going to start off on here so we can punch them out from this direction. I'm bringing in one of the new ink colours. This is called Sweet Sorbet. Now of course we've got loads of reds. You could use Poppy Parade, Real Red, you could even Cherry Cobbler, and I've even seen people using colours other than red, just something to just create something a little different. So this is Sweet Sorbet. Okay, nice sort of bright red, a little less orange than Poppy Parade, or less pink I would say. But a little more muted than Real Red. So I'm just cleaning that off, just bear with me. And then there's a stamp to do the spots. So we'll just bring in our Memento ink again. Turn that round. There's our little spots. So what you want to do is get right over the top of your images as best you can, and just hover over the top, and when you're happy you're overlaying the previous image or close enough, just put that down. So okay, and you know what, if it's not perfect, it really doesn't matter. If you really want to, you could fill in any little teeny white spaces that you might have missed with a Stampin' Right marker or Stampin' Blend even. So you can do that. I'm not doing very well with that ink pad lid today, am I? Let's just get it on me and then drop it. There we go. Let's pop that out of the way for a time being. Okay, so these guys can be punched out. So with any of the builder punches, you've seen me do this before. What you don't want to do is punch this one because the other image is going to interfere with your other image. So just bear that in mind when you're using these builder punches. Okay, so I'm going to work from left to right to punch out the little bodies there. I often find that it's easier just to cut off your little excess pieces so they don't jam in your punch. It's not always necessary, but I just like to do it, and that's just, that corner's just getting in the way of me lining that up. So just check that off. So we get a nice white border around those, aren't they cute? And then number 3. So this doesn't take very long at all. It's something you could get the kids involved with, especially if you're just punching from black cardstock and they don't need to line it up. They could easily get those done with you. And then we're going to do our little wings. Okay, so just like we did with the body, this one's on the left hand side, so we don't want to start here, we want to start here and feed those along. Okay, so again, just lining it up. I often find that if you do you know, line up the tips of the wings, the rest probably is close enough. Okay, and I'm just going to remove some of that excess. Just to stop it from jamming up. The teeny tiny pieces will bend rather than cut sometimes, so just because there's not enough purchase for the punch to grab. So okay, number 3. There we go. That's it, we've done with our punch, and we've got all those little bits there just to remove, pop in the bin. So we'll just do that, just quick. And so what I want to do is just adhere these wings on and let them dry while we do the other bits and pieces. So I'm just going to give them some shape in the first instance with my bone folder into the palm of my hand here, just to give them some shape, and then sort of bend them at that join there. And then we're going to use some multi-purpose glue. Just put a small amount just on that crease there, and then we can pop those in place. Okay, just use that to press them in. So it just gives gives them a little bit of movement. You see me do this, oops, lots of times with flower petals and dragonfly wings and all that kind of stuff. So you just get a little bit more of a sort of dimensional sort of element to put on your card there. Okay, so that's cute. So like I say, that just gives those time just to dry slightly. So on the original then, let's just tell you about the card base. So to make the slimline card, we've got a piece of card. This is 8.5 by 7, scored at 3.5. Okay, and then I've cut 2 panels, 3.25 by 8.25, 8 1/8, 3 1/8 by 8 1/8. Okay, so we've just got that nice skinny border around the edge there, which you probably can't see very well white on white at the moment, but that's what we're aiming for, to get this sort of slim line card. But we need a colour around the edge. Now me being frugal, is that the right word? But you know, you want to get the most out of your cardstock and all that kind of stuff. So you could use your coordinating cardstock, whatever colour you want to use for your layer, and then use that to punch out other elements and stuff. They call it gutting. So you would have these elements and then you'd cover it over and you would never know the difference. Or something I like to do is to use a blend marker in particular. You can use the Stampin' Up markers, but it's water based, takes longer to dry, so just bear that in mind. But if you use a Stampin' blend, it'll dry pretty much straight away and it's ready to go, you see. So just to mix things up, I'm going to use one of the other new colours called Starry Sky, just to introduce another colour to the card and give it some more dimension. So I'm literally going to make my own coloured cardstock layer with a Stampin' blend. Okay, so this is a really great tip, especially if you know you've run out of a colour or something and you just need to have something peeking out from the edge. I like to do both sides, even though it seeps through and it's a very nice rich colour. If you do both sides, it'll really make it nice and rich on the front. And the other thing about using Stampin' blends is that you're not going to get that sort of streaky look that you might get with the water-based marker either once it's dried. Okay, so there's my cheat method of getting some coloured cardstock in on your card without necessarily cutting into a fresh sheet, or simply because you just don't have it. Okay, so there are colours that I don't generally keep a lot of stock in. I'll buy a full pack of things that I know I'm going to use, but might be other colours. So I'm not a super fan of, you know, the oranges and things like that. So just oh, whoops, that's a bit wonky. Oh well, yours will be straight, of course. Okay, so that's how you can get coloured cardstock layers to frame up your card. Okay, so yeah, that's just gone on a little bit wonky. Don't really know how that happened, but there you go. Handmade. It's not always going to be perfect. So that's going to fit onto our card base. So again, I mean, in that scenario, if that had been an actual piece of cardstock, you'd potentially have wasted that as well. So there you go. Right, for the purposes of the demonstration we're going to carry on, but you get the idea. Okay, so again, to switch things up again, this is a stitched die that I've got on the back there, which is square, as you can see, but I'm actually going to bring in circles this time just to change that. So I've got 2 cut already. So the circles come from a new set of dies. So these sort of, we lost our stitched shapes dies and they retired, but we've now got these ones. So the stitching effect is slightly different, it's a finer stitch. You've got more shapes, we only had 4 of each in the other one, and instead of ovals we've now got these really nice fishtail banners, which is cool. Okay, so these are those. I believe they're called stylish shapes because I don't have the packet next to me. Anything that I think is going to be really useful in my stash that I'm going to reach to, I tend to put next to me on my desk so I don't forget about them, on one of these magnetic sheets, and it keeps them all nice and secure and close to hand. So that's that. So this is the second largest circle. Okay, I think they all fit in the mini, you know. Let me just grab a thingy. Yep, they would all fit through your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss as well. So if you only have the mini die cut machine, then you can use these dies. These are a great staple. So if you're just starting out, that would be a nice element to have in your arsenal. Your mini emboss, cut and emboss. So those 3 circles fit on there really, really nicely. But before we could do that, I'm going to stamp the leaves onto those. So again, on the original sample I actually stamped them and fussy cut them, but I figured they are a little bit on the fussy side. You know, if needs must and you want to fussy cut them, then go ahead and do that. But this is a shortcut that I'm offering you to avoid doing that, and they just about fit on this this die cut, which is great. This is also a new colour. This is a new colour called Parakeet Party. Lovely bright green. So there we go. That's those done. So that's easier than fussy cutting those out, right? So yeah, Parakeet Party. So we're using 3 of the in colours today. Okay, so we can just pop those onto our card now. I'm just going to use some seal for that. X marks the spot. Just do that nice and quick. So Stampin' Seal is my sort of go-to adhesive, but you use whatever you're comfortable with. So I'm just going to pop that in, and when you're lining up 3 things, if you do the top and the bottom ones, you can then make the middle one fit as you need to, because you can eyeball the distance between them and make sure that that's even, you see. Okay, so there we are. There's our 3 leaves, and then these will have had enough time to dry, so we'll just grab some dimensionals because, you know, can't not use dimensionals. So I'm just going to pop a couple of those on each of the Ladybirds. And then that's it. I have chosen not to add a sentiment this time around. There are sentiments in the Ladybug set if you wished to use them. So this one's going on straight, and then these guys are going off either side, like so. You can lift the wings a bit. If you wanted to put some wing Stella on them, you could. You could support the wings by putting a mini dimensional underneath and whatever, if you wanted to. So there we go. That's my variation of the Ladybird. Well, they call it Ladybug because it's an American company. Ladybug. Hello, Ladybird. Stamp set, coordinating punch to make a slimline card. There we go. Quite like the blue actually. It kind of frames it nicely. If I'd have just done it straight, but there you go. So there we go. There's one idea for you. So do, like I say, click into the description, have a look at all the other videos, or following the theme, anything but flowers, and see what else everybody else uses. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.